blockchain using DeFi to 3x your leverage. Or, I'm sorry, 3x your profits using leverage. And I'm going to show you a strategy that I've been using now for about 2 or 3 months. And while I'm not up yet, when the market starts to take off, and this is where being patient comes in and learning how to do this. When the market goes up, my profits are literally going to be 3 times the amount as if I would have just, bought on Coinbase or crypto.com or one of these centralized exchanges and just left it there and did nothing. And so that's what we're going to be covering today. So I'm really excited. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Let's see here. All right. So this is we're gonna be getting it straight into it today. All right. Now there's gonna be some education, like Billy said. There's gonna be some free education tonight as to like what decentralized finance is, because some of you may not know. All right. And then we're also gonna be teaching you a little bit about leverage trading. All right. So how to 3x your profits with other people's money, and this is a big deal. And I know that Billy's talked a lot about this before in the past and in some of his other investment webinars, but we want to really show you how you can do that on the blockchain. And so some people are like, well, what does that mean? What does on the blockchain mean? Well, that means like you don't have any third-party intermediaries that can cut you off, stall you, tell you, wait, hold on, do any shady stuff. It is all code driven and you own that code, which is the best part about it. And that's why when we tell people that they can become their own bank, we literally mean it. All right. So this is one of my top plays. This is one of my top plays that I actually have been using, like I said, for the last 2 or 3 months. So why do I think, though, that the crypto market is going to explode over the next 365 days? Well, we have things like BlackRock filing for an ETF. And here's some recent news. The same guys that predicted the win for Grayscale over the SEC, they predicted with like 60% accuracy that they were going to win in the Supreme Court decision. Well, these guys are predicting now that between now and next spring, there is a 75% chance that the SEC is going to be allowing an ETF, and they think that BlackRock is going to lead the way for that. And so what's that going to do? Well, BlackRock was the first one to bring a gold ETF back in the late 2000s. And they have only had one out of like 400 and some ETFs rejected. So they have like a 99 point something rate in getting ETFs approved. They had some like really, really weird one, which I think it was linked to cannabis that did not get approved. But in regards to crypto, there is a lot of people who want to see this succeed and a lot of deep, deep pockets that know that this is the future. And so BlackRock, they're saying that these same guys that predicted said that they believe, again, within the next probably 6 to 8 months, that we will have an ETF. And when BlackRock launched that gold ETF, gold went up by like 10x, guys or gals. So, and gold has basically, it has some use cases, but in my opinion, not as strong as use cases Bitcoin or crypto, because we're transferring value and we're using these networks for our new financial systems of the future. But gold, there's also an unlimited supply, basically, of gold, okay? There's a ton still in the ground. We don't even know, in terms of how much there is circulating in jewelry and all that stuff. But Bitcoin, there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. And that, for me, is enough to say, like, hey, this is going to be massively huge. Now, my question to you is are you going to be the one that buys Bitcoin at the top, or are you going to be buying Bitcoin right now, like today when it's down, and actually using it the way it's supposed to be used by earning dividends on it? And that's what we're teaching our students. But BlackRock is leading the way. Citadel, Fidelity, Charles Schwab are actually launching their own crypto exchange called EDX Markets. Now, they're going to be servicing institutional investors, but that's still huge. These guys are not small cookies, all right? These guys are massive. In fact, between BlackRock, Citadel, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, between all of them, if you were to gather up all the countries in the world, they would be the largest country by GDP. Let me repeat that. They would be the largest country by GDP. Then second to them would be the United States, and second to the United States, it would be China. So this is a huge deal. Fidelity is also making some huge moves independent of this crypto exchange for their retail buyers, meaning us. Now, I don't think they're probably going to allow self-custody, but they will custody these cryptos. Now, I'm not a fan. I have been self-custodying my crypto since 2017. I don't trust any of these exchanges because I know that the real finance is coming to DeFi. And then Billy and I covered this. And if you haven't seen this video, I would recommend going to YouTube or 4BK if you're a subscriber and watch the last webinar that we did on PayPal. This is massive. This is massive. But PayPal is basically launching their own cryptocurrency that is backed and pegged 1-to-1 by the dollar. Now, you're not going to make any money speculating on this cryptocurrency, but they are using this and you can transfer this to your Ethereum wallet. Now, there's pros and cons to this, but bear in mind, PayPal has 485 million or something like that clients throughout the world. And one of the things that, I mentioned in my last webinar with PayPal launching this stable coin is, when I was in Russia, I was back there in 2020. I was there for lockdown, for the first lockdown. I had to transfer from my PayPal to my girlfriend at the time's PayPal. And it took 5 days for that money to get to PayPal. Using this Pi USD, it will be instant. And so for all of you that know crypto and are thinking like XRP is going to be the next big thing, I really don't think XRP is going to be the next thing. I think XRP was kind of the sacrifice goat to go and win against the SEC. But this is more practical than having XRP, which is a volatile cryptocurrency that has really, really a weird function. I really, since day one, I was like, everybody's like, it's the Banks coin. I'm like, XRP is not the Banks coin. All right. They're using Ripple technology, which is the company that designed XRP, but they're not using XRP. And so I personally think that we're going to go more towards a stable coin, and Pi USD could be one of them. Now, with all of these events occurring, this is a time to be learning the skills to front run, meaning get ahead of the largest banks and institutions in the world. And again, today, like everybody's freaking out in the crypto market. I'm like, oh my gosh, I keep buying these dips. So today the market went down. Bitcoin went down by 5%, guys and gals, on no bad news. And so I was like, I got to get in there and I got to buy it. And I did. I bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin today. Now, I'm a little bit more methodical. I bring in money, not the one big chunk. I come in little by little. And every time the market goes down, I buy a little more. And the market goes up and then it goes down, I buy a little bit more. That's what we call dollar cost averaging. So I constantly have a certain amount of money that I invest every single month. And I always have a little bit sitting there to keep buying and keep buying and keep buying, especially when the market is down. When the market is hot, that's when I pull back and I start investing way less. Because what am I doing when the market gets hot? I'm selling. Now, we're going to talk, next week or the week after that when Billy and I get on again about where I'm taking those profits, because I want to build that generational wealth. And where I'm taking those profits now is tokenized real estate, because that's the market, the part of the crypto market that's not going to go up and down and up and down, and it's not going to drive your emotions crazy. And that's why we came up with that. But like I said, we'll talk about that for another day. But before I show you how to compete with the institutions, first, let's educate you on a few things so that you understand how me and over 1,200 of my students are making money. So first things first, what is DeFi? What is decentralized finance? So DeFi stands, again, for decentralized finance. It is a new way of handling money built on a technology called blockchain. Now, it's called decentralized because it's not controlled by banks or governments. And instead, it is run by you and I, by the people. And that's why, Robert Kiyosaki from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he calls crypto the people's money. And I couldn't agree more, because I've been teaching this now since January of 2018. And I know that I'd rather deal with you and me using trustless technology, meaning code, that if I say, hey, I'm going to do this, then you're going to give me this in exchange, and it's all driven by code, not by shady scammers, then then that's what I want. I don't want the governments interjecting. I don't want the banks interjecting. No, thank you. We're all grown-ups here. Okay. Now, DeFi uses something called smart contracts, and I'm going to show you what these smart contracts are today. All right. I actually have a live demo for you. Now, these are like digital agreements that automatically carry out transactions when certain conditions are met. And the best part about DeFi is it is open to everybody. You don't need to go through a bank or middleman to use it. And this is why, it's exploding in Africa, in Europe, all over the US, in Asia, because people are sick and tired of the status quo. People are sick and tired of losing value of their fiat currencies or government issued currencies. So what is a dollar? Like Robert Kiyosaki says that crypto is the people's money. What is the dollar? It is the government's money, and they don't do anything good. So why is DeFi exciting? Well, here's the potential of it. So financial inclusion. DeFi can bring banking and financial services to people who don't have access to them. And this is what's going on right now in Turkey, that has experienced massive dump in their currency. Their currency is basically worthless this year. Lebanon, same thing. They're getting into crypto and they're getting into Bitcoin and experience all-time highs. They're just like, man, we love this. Even in the United States, for those of you that are in the United States, you may have seen your crypto go down over the last 18 months. They saw it go up exponentially because their money has been devalued. Another place that I actually went to this year was Lebanon. I couldn't believe it. There was a dude that I was with. I couldn't even use my debit card because their entire banking system had failed. And he was carrying around these $1,000 bills from their currency. And he says, Gven, with this $1,000 bill, I used to buy like a luxury steak for my entire family and all this stuff. And now he's got a stack of like 20 of them that he's got to use for parking. I was blown away. But the innovation of DeFi, it's open to everyone. It encourages new ideas and rapid improvements. One of those new ideas for us is that tokenization of real estate. We're finding different ways on how all of us can participate and win. DeFi also uses automation to make transactions faster and cheaper. Going back to that example that I was telling you about PayPal. Transparency. Now, this to me is something that's near and dear, because all DeFi transactions are recorded and can be seen by anyone, which helps to prevent fraud and corruption. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have seen, Black Knight with Billy. And I think, Billy, you guys talk about, the United States government having like this secret stash of money that they're using for all these covert operations. Well, guess what? That's your tax money if you're a U.S. citizen. All right. And I'm sure China does it. I'm sure the EU does it as well, all the EU nations. But that's your tax money. Why shouldn't you be able to see where the money is going? And that's what I really think we should be voting on. Like, yeah, okay, let's spend it on new roads, new infrastructure, but let's really spend it on that. And we really want to see, well, on the blockchain, we can see all of that. If I have access to your address, I can follow the pattern all the way down to the last cent and in real time. So like Nancy Pelosi and Ted Cruz and all these left and right-wing politicians, okay, we can see their trades in real time. Right now, under the existing rules, they have to show you within 45 to 60 days what they've done. By then, they've already made their money and made their moves. Okay, fine. Nancy, if you want to go ahead and invest and do insider trading, cool. But I want to be able to see it so at least I can benefit from it as well, right? But I mean, I don't think it's fair, but they probably should go to jail for it. But at the same time, again, if I can see it on the blockchain, which I can, and there's wallets that I follow to see what they're investing in and go, oh, that's interesting. And I found lots of gems doing that. Now, the other thing is control. With DeFi, you have full control over your money, and you don't need to hold your money in the bank, and they're making the decisions for you and giving you peanuts. And you get to make that bank money, okay, that the bank makes. So all these little fees that they nickel and dime you with, that adds up to trillions of dollars worldwide, guys and gals. So now we are taking our power back by earning that money. And I'm going to show you how I'm personally doing that tonight. So what is a centralized exchange? This is something you really need to understand. A centralized exchange are like traditional banks, but for cryptocurrencies. But they are owned by a single company that controls the funds and makes the trades. So a lot of you know about like FTX, right? FTX was a centralized exchange that was run by one person, as opposed to like if you would have had your money on the blockchain like me and all of my students had our money, you would have never lost a single penny. In fact, it just validated what we're doing with blockchain technology right now. But you also have to trust them to keep your money safe. And no offense, I don't trust anybody but myself and the code that I understand to hold my money, okay? I don't even trust the banks. I don't have any of my net worth on the bank's ledger. I have it on my own ledger, all right? In the form of real estate, in the form of crypto. I have all my money there. Now, they often also require you to share personal information to use their services. If you want to remain anonymous, like we're all big boys and girls, all right? I hope that you're going to abide by the rules of your country in terms of reporting your taxes or coming up with legal ways to minimize your taxes, which we won't talk about today, but there's ways to do it legally, right? You just got to play their game. You got to understand how their game is played. But me, I have got nothing to hide. They know all my wallet addresses. I'm like, here you go. But it's in my custody, not in theirs, all right? And that's a big difference. Now, what is a decentralized exchange, all right? A decentralized exchange is like a marketplace where people trade directly with each other. Now, they are not owned by any single company, and instead they use blockchain technology to make trades. So you keep control of the money until you make a trade, and you can use them without sharing personal information, all right? Like we're all big boys and girls. We don't need Big Brother looking at us through their microscope. We're honest, all right? The majority of us on here are honest, and we can find ways by being smarter, okay, to again minimize our overhead, minimize our taxes, so that we go, hey, IRS, here you go, take it or leave it. But these are your laws, right? These are your rules. So, but they can offer a wide range of cryptocurrencies as well. And I'm constantly talking about smaller cryptocurrencies. In fact, I called one about 2 weeks ago. It went up by 133%. And a lot of our students, they were able to take their profit. And that was, again, within just 2 weeks. But that was a really small cryptocurrency. If that was traditional markets, you would have never been able to have done that. You would have never been able to do that. So how is DeFi going to change the world? Where everything from the stock market to real estate to commodities to art to music to gaming will be on the blockchain within the next 10 years. And if you don't believe me, check out this article. I don't have the link in front of me, but you can just Google it. JP Morgan on its crypto plans. The overall goal is to bring these trillions with a T, not with a B, not with an M, trillions of dollars of assets into DeFi. They're saying this. JP Morgan Chase, probably one of the largest banks in the largest bank in the United States and one of the largest banks in the world, is saying they're working on it. And I've actually seen on the blockchain them doing transfers and actually interacting with the blockchain to bring things onto the blockchain. Now, I think we're about a year to 2 years away, but it's coming, guys or gals. Okay, it is coming. Also, Larry Fink from BlackRock, I don't have the video here, but I actually just put it into another video that we're putting onto our website. He's also talking about tokenizing all of these real world assets as well. Bonds, real estate, stocks, all of that can be tokenized and can be traded 24/7. And again, when I get on again with Billy next, I'm going to show you the benefits of tokenizing real world assets. And I think a lot of you are going to go, oh my gosh, this is going to be the biggest transfer of wealth that I've ever even fathomed. But here's an example. What our marketplace is going to look very similar to this, but this is a company called Realty that sells tokenized real estate. All right. And not only do they sell tokenized real estate, you can actually borrow right on the blockchain. There's no going to an underwriter or a bank. You can borrow against those cryptocurrencies that you own fractionally. So you don't need to go put a huge down payment, do underwriting, wait for all this stuff. You take it on a loan or with, maybe just one or two partners. You can come in and buy $50 worth of this. And then you can take that $50 and borrow against that $50 and go buy more real estate if you wanted to, if it made sense. And so there's all sorts of really, really cool things. And with no permission, mind you, I just literally connect my wallet, which this is what my wallet looks like, if you can see in the camera, and off I go. And I'm my own bank. This is really the real deal, guys. So this is why you don't want to miss out on learning this technology before everyone gets in. Now, we understand DeFi a little bit better. Let's learn a little bit about trading, okay? Because I think traders try to make trading too technical and too hard, where I'm a long-term value investor. And don't get me wrong, I've traded before and I made a lot of money trading, all right? I've made a lot of money trading, but I'm more of a long-term trader now, all right? A swing or a value trader. And so I'm going to show you how you can literally 3x your profits over the next 2 to 3 years using other people's money. So how do we do 3x? How do we 3x our profit? Well, it's no different than the way some of the wealthiest people in the world do it. Again, they use other people's money. I want to drill that into everybody's head. They use other people's money. All right. They don't use their own. And how does the banks use other people's money? They use your money. They use your money. So let's educate you on how you can potentially use other people's money. So what is leverage? Okay. What is leverage? Leverage is borrowing money to have a larger position to make more money per trade. Okay, so as you can see here in this photograph, I can use my $1,000 and 100x my leverage, and use actually $100,000. Now you have to be very careful if you use this much leverage. All right, in crypto, it's almost guaranteed that you're going to lose your money using this much leverage. All right, it's almost guaranteed. All right. So I would be very, very, very careful using this much leverage. I would never use this much. The most I actually use is 3x. And I'm going to show you my system that I believe is going to be a very, very successful system over the next 2 or 3 years. Now, again, what is leverage trading? Leverage trading means borrowing money, OPM or other people's money, to increase your buying power. It's like using a magnifying glass to make your investment bigger. So if you buy Bitcoin with 3x leverage, you're tripling your buying power. So if you invest $5,000, you can control $15,000 worth of Bitcoin. But be careful, all right? And this is where I really want to make this very, very clear, because I've had people, they get into leverage and you can literally lose all of your money. You can literally lose all of your investment. All right. Because if the price of Bitcoin falls, again, you can lose even more than your initial investment. Now, here's a screenshot that I'll cover here in a little bit. But what is a liquidation price? It's really important that you understand what a liquidation price is. The liquidation price is the Bitcoin price, if you're trading Bitcoin, at which you'd lose your entire initial investment. If Bitcoin falls to this price, your position will be automatically closed to prevent further losses. So, these people lending you money, they don't want to lose the money that they lent you. All right. So there is a certain point where they have to be guaranteed their money. So in our example, if you control $15,000 worth of Bitcoin bought at $29,000 per Bitcoin, you own 0.517 Bitcoin. If the value of this 0.517 Bitcoin falls by $5,000, so your initial investment, okay, because remember, you put up $5,000 and you now control $15,000, your position would be liquidated, meaning bye-bye to your $5,000. So your liquidity price is roughly $19,332. So if Bitcoin were to fall to $19,332, then your entire investment would go bye-bye. All right. Now here's a photograph of an actual investment that I currently still have open, and I plan on having this open for the next 2 or 3 years while Bitcoin rises. And I'm going to give you an example of what this can turn into for you. All right. What this can turn into for you. But you can see here, the Bitcoin liquidation price for me at that point in time was $21,141. All right. So now I actually put in more money into this position. So it's now down to like $17,000. So Bitcoin would have to go down to $17,000 right now in order for me to lose my money. All right. Now you do have to pay attention to this because there are fees, these fees right here, okay, that get charged for the borrowed money. All right. So this borrowed money doesn't come to you for free. All right. It does not come for you for free. And especially if you're making money. If you're making money, the fees that you're being charged could be as high as 50% per year. But I don't care about that. Because if I'm making, let's say, 300% per year, okay, which is totally doable with Bitcoin or with Ethereum, then I'm ahead 250%. Okay. So one thing, again, that I cannot emphasize is that you need to understand the risk of leverage because it can be very risky. And if you're not paying attention, getting liquidated is the worst feeling. Why do I know that? Because I've been liquidated, okay? A few times, more than I'd like to admit, but I learned from those liquidations, all right? And if you don't experience hardship, in my opinion, you don't learn quite as well. Now, luckily, my students don't have to go through that. Some of them still do because they didn't pay attention or they over-leveraged themselves with one crypto that was too volatile, okay? But for the ones that listen, they're doing A-okay. They're doing A-okay. All right, so now, what is the 2-bullet system that I'm using to avoid liquidation? All right. Well, what happens is, and I want you to understand the liquidation price with what happens with an additional investment. So adding to your investment impacts the liquidation price. So here's kind of an example. When you add more money to your investment, it increases your safety net and lowers your liquidation price. Let's go back here real quick and look at this, all right? So my liquidation price here was 21,000. Now, I had a number in my brain that was if Bitcoin hit 24,000, then I was going to add a bullet, okay? Or even a half a bullet, all right? And I'm going to teach you what a bullet is here, a full bullet here is in a little bit. It hit 25,000 and I was actually on an island for a mastermind. And I said, I'm going to add half of a bullet right now, because if Bitcoin goes down, and crypto is very volatile, guys and gals, all right, I don't want to get my position liquidated. This is a long-term investment for me, all right? So I ended up adding half of a bullet. Now, in our example, okay, I added $5,000 worth of Bitcoin when Bitcoin's price was at $23,000. So let's say, for instance, Bitcoin went down to 23,000. I added a full amount of my investment. So if I had $5,000, that means I needed to have an additional $5,000 and actually $10,000, because I want to have 2 bullets just in case Bitcoin goes down low enough. Now I hold that $10,000 also in Bitcoin, so that if it goes up, I have that upside and I can actually start investing more of that in different things in DeFi. But I definitely wanted to keep some reserve, because if I needed to add a bullet, which I did, I added a half of a bullet, actually, not 5,000, I added 2,500. All right. Then I wanted to make sure that I don't get liquidated. Okay. And so now if I were to add, though, at 23,000, my $5,000, that takes my liquidation price all the way down to $10,000, which is, to me, probably we're not going to see Bitcoin hit $10,000. I could be wrong. Okay. But we're probably not going to see it. Sorry, not 10,000, 13,623, which I still don't think we're going to see it. I don't think we're probably going to see less than a $20,000 Bitcoin. If we do, maybe a high 19,000, but I don't think we're going to see a sub 20, and it's not going to hang there for very long. All right. So, but 13,623, that gives me enough. Now, I still have another bullet chilling there to where if Bitcoin goes down again, then I probably can get this 13,000 liquidation price all the way down to 7,000. And that, I mean, unless the world burns up, in which case we got a whole other issues, I don't think is ever going to happen. Now, let's go live. I did a video recording right before this. So bear with me. Let me stop sharing here and let me pull up the video, because I'm going to show you how easy this is to do and how fast it is to do it. And we're going to show you all sorts of things on DeFi right now. Where is that? Oh, man, not that one. Let's see here. This one. All right, cool. Let me pull up my sharing of the screen here. All right, nice. We got 595 of you, almost 600 people here. Hopefully you guys are all learning. I can't see what you're chatting up, but I'm pretty positive that you guys are all learning something. All right, here, share. All right, cool. So I'm going to walk you through this video that I did earlier today. All right, hopefully everybody can see that. So let's go ahead and hit play. All right, so this is a decentralized exchange called Quenta. All right. And it is a futures exchange, meaning I can use leverage. Now, there's decentralized exchanges where I cannot use leverage, but in this case, I actually can. Now, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna actually invest in a cryptocurrency called staked ETH. All right. Now, I had $500 available, and wait, before I actually get into this, I want to explain this portfolio. So this is my $5,000 to $1 million portfolio. Using this portfolio, and I'm showing my students step by step how I'm doing this, because I actually took $15,000 and was able to convert that over 2 years into over $2 million in gains. Okay, now let me give you the caveat. All right, over that 2 years, I dollar cost averaged, meaning I periodically brought in about $125,000. Okay. 125,000, but still, okay, I started off with 15 and I just was religious about putting that money in and growing it. So this portfolio that I've set up. I'm sharing it publicly with my students. And what's happening is I am actually starting with $5,000. Actually, it's $23,000 right now. $3,000 because I'm periodically buying in, and I'm waiting for a little bit more of a dip for Bitcoin and Ethereum to really put that other $2,000 into it. But I just put in $500 for this month, and every single month I'm going to add $500 to this portfolio. That's it. Nothing else. And I'm going to take this from 5K to $1 million in the next 3 years. And this is one of the strategies that I'm using. All right. And I'm going to show you how we're doing that. All right. So here's the thing. So I have $500 available, and you can see all of the cryptos that I have available here. And Quenta has a ton. And by the way, if you wanted to trade gold, you can do that. See right here where it says XAG, that's the ticker for gold. If you want to buy silver, I'm sorry, XAG, is that gold or silver? I forget. XAU, I think is silver. Wait, 1900, and I can tell by the price. Okay, no, that XAU is gold. XAG is silver. Okay, that's how much it costs for silver by the ounce. So you can actually leverage trade gold here, silver here. All right, you can leverage trade Forex on here, and this is your money. It is fully decentralized. You have access to all of this stuff. No signing up for an account, nothing. You connect your wallet again, like I have here in my camera, and boom, off you go. And this is what I believe is going to liberate the world. All right, so I ended up choosing this crypto called Staked ETH. Now, why did I choose Staked ETH? Because Staked ETH, not only am I going to make about 3 times the profit once Ethereum goes up, but I make an extra 5% in ETH because this is from a company called Lido that is decentralized as well. That allows me, oh yeah, go ahead. Did I hear somebody? No, sorry. Maybe I was just getting some feedback here. So that allowed me to get into, that allowed me to get in as a validator for Ethereum. Okay, and that's going to pay me the rewards that Ethereum pays for validating the transactions using my cryptocurrencies. So not only am I going to make that 3 times profit, but I'm also going to make the 3 times profit on the validator, which is an extra 15% per year with this scenario. So this is how we get smart. And these are some of the things that we teach you all. So let's keep going here. Oh, shoot. Hold on real quick. Wrong screen. All right. So we're going to keep going. So I just want to show you how easy it is. So here's what I'm doing. I've already set up to spend my entire 5,000, and you can see, so it came in at 25x leverage. I would not do that. I'm doing 3x leverage, which gives me $1,501. Now I'm clicking on open position, and it's going to show me, okay, here, once I open the position, my open positions, these are the other 2 positions that I have. Now, I'm going to go ahead and sign the smart contract now. Now, this comes up. This is what we call a smart contract, basically saying, hey, you're going to be basically asking for an approval to spend this $500 and put it into this trade. Now, how do I also do this? I have to physically be at my computer using this hard wallet. And these are some of the things that we teach you. We teach you that security. So now I'm actually getting the transaction to go through. So you have to approve the transaction, then you get the transaction to go through. Now watch. Within a few seconds here, it will go through. The transaction has been sent to the network. And now this screen will go away, and watch the bottom. My position will pop up. Now, this is on a cryptocurrency network blockchain called Optimism, which is built on top of Ethereum. But now you can see my staked ETH right there. All right. I can see my liquidation price, which is $1,120. And I can see what price I averaged in at. So 1646 is what I averaged in on. And so now I'm going to dollar cost average into this position. All right. So this is the way leverage trading works. And it's very, very, very simple once you know how to do it. You guys and gals just literally saw this whole thing. If I wasn't explaining it and like showing you and stopping, I could have had this done in 1.5 minutes maximum, as long as I had all my crypto set up. All right. But these are the things that we actually teach. Now, let me stop sharing here and let me get back to my presentation so you all can see here. Let's see here. All right. Okay, here we go. So now, how do you truly build wealth in crypto? One, you become as decentralized as possible. You become the bank. Two, educate yourself. I don't care if it's with us or, there's very few companies that do what we do, or if you go to YouTube University like I did, but educate yourself on this. Have a plan in place to hit your goals. Like here, I have all of my investments all put into a spreadsheet that I've actually shared with our students, and that they have the ability to monitor their cryptos. But I also have, how many what's the risk factor on? Is it low risk? Is it medium risk? Is it high risk? How much am I making per year? What was my daily payout? What was my monthly payout? I need to be monitoring this stuff to make sure that I'm making profit, that I'm not in a losing investment position. Also, part of what we teach, and I've taught this before in Billy's class, I think the last one we did with PayPal was liquidity pools. And this is something I'm really, really big on, because this year, there is no risk of liquidation, but there's a risk of something else called impermanent loss, which we're not going to get into today. But look, this is by providing liquidity. So allowing people to trade peer-to-peer, I'm earning 110% on top of these cryptos. So if this crypto goes up by let's say, I don't know, 100%, I actually earn 200% because I'm the bank providing liquidity so you can trade. Similar to like the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange does. In this situation, Ethereum and ETH, I'm earning 116%. And these are positions that are existing for me, all right? That are existing for me. So this is how you become your own bank. And when the market goes up, guys and gals, and you've accumulated all of that crypto, and some of these cryptos are going to go 1,000%, 10,000%. I think my highest gain has been like 27,000%. And you've earned 100% extra in that, or in some cases, like when the crypto market starts to pick up and there's more volume, this 100%, this 110% right here, I've seen it as high as 1,000%. So imagine you're doing 1,000% times 1,000%. All right. I'm telling you, it's possible. I've done it. I'm being patient right now, though, because nothing goes up in a straight line. Now, the cool part about it, too, this is not a Ponzi scheme. All right. This is an actual cash flowing business. Billy's in on these liquidity pools as well. All right. But you can come here, you hit collect fees, and guess what? You are spending your money within minutes. You can literally transfer it into your crypto Visa card, which we show you how to do, and spend this money right here that you've earned in unclaimed fees. Okay, now this is a whole other lesson that we'll get to here. We'll get back to it. But if you want to go back and watch some of Billy's webinars with me in the past, you'll see. So number 4, learn how to do your own crypto research so you can become your own crypto financial non-regulated advisor. All right, non-licensed advisor, but you want to become your own crypto advisor. Don't let other people make decisions for you. I've had a lot of people who have missed out on a lot of gains by not educating themselves. And this is what we pride ourselves in. We want to teach you how to invest like a Wall Street rock star on the blockchain. So what is the one way that you can really build wealth in crypto? It's good old-fashioned time and education, guys and gals. All right? This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a get-rich-medium plan. All right? This is a get-rich medium blueprint. And this is how so many people over time, be it real estate or the stock market, when those things were hot, that's how they got rich medium. It didn't take them 60 some years to retire, okay, or to have enough money to basically say, I want to retire. But they needed to learn what they were doing. And this is why we pride ourselves in being the best when it comes to this sort of education. Now, we have some students here that have done fantastic over the last few years. This was a woman. She had her money on a centralized exchange, not a decentralized exchange, a centralized exchange called Voyager, which was like FTX. She had built her portfolio from a couple $100,000 to 1.5 million in the span of 2.5 years. And she came to me and she said, Gven, what should I do here? How can I protect myself? And I said, first of all, you got to get your money off of this centralized exchange called Voyager. So she said, okay, but they're paying me 5%. I said, you could make 100% or more. Actually, at that time, she saw gains of 1,700% by providing liquidity. All right. Now it's gone down because crypto is down right now. But this is the time to be stacking. This is the time to be learning, because when it goes up, you're going to be a crypto ninja. All right. But anyways, I was able to get all of her money off. She was making a piddly, I don't know, $7,000. Now she literally can pay for all of her expenses, and her mother is in a home. Unfortunately, she has cognitive issues, but she's able to afford that plus her entire lifestyle. Now, read here, guys and gals. I'm always big on the disclaimers, all right? Results vary based on students' investment amounts and risk. So don't think you're going to come in here and make $1.5 million like this without knowing in 2 weeks. All right. It took this woman time and education to get there. Now we have all sorts of other students. Again, these are results vary based on students' risks. All right. This is Ryan. Ryan was making 200%. Okay. Using a liquidity pool right here. You see it. He took a screenshot. All right. This is another Ryan Stober. He actually now works with us, but he knew DeFi before, and he realized how having a community put him to the next level. All right. And he has learned a lot and made a lot of money while being with us. And lastly, oh man, this was Chanel. This is another Ryan. Chanel was the first one. I get confused. But Sean got in early, and he ended up making just in a matter of 3 weeks, I think is what it was. 3 weeks. It says here somewhere. No, 26 days. He made 18% on his position. And if he held through this position, he was on track to do 273% by providing liquidity, by being the bank. All right. And so this is the power of what you can do. Now, stick with me. I only have a few more minutes, but I think you guys are going to really like what I have to say here. All right. This is where the rubber meets the road for me. All right. So you're like, okay, Gven, you're going to do all this 3x leveraging, these liquidity pools. Like, what does that mean for me? What does that mean for me? All right. Now, personally, I think Bitcoin is probably going to hit about $200,000 in this next bull cycle. All right. I don't think it's going to hit 1 million. A lot of people are saying it's 1 million. If it is, I'm all the better. I'm all the better. Okay. But let's say if I buy Bitcoin at today's price of 20, or when I did this example, it's 29,000. Right now it's like 25.9. All right. But 29,300. This would be an increase of Bitcoin in percentage wise of 582%. Now, if you invest $5,000, you would earn your crypto Bitcoin would be worth $34,112. Okay. But if you buy a fraction of Bitcoin, you only have that fraction of Bitcoin. Okay. You only have that fraction of Bitcoin. Now let's say your BTC goes up by 582%, but now you use 3x leverage. All right. So what's the difference? What you took, instead of doing a $34,000 gain, you took that all the way up to $94,837. And by the way, I did the math, the whole calculation. All right. After fees. So after paying that investment, that fee of 50%, I set it at 50%, you earn $94,837. Okay. Let me repeat that. Instead of 34,000, you 3x'd your investment profit. You 3x. Now, again, let me say the disclaimer. Results vary, and there are no guarantees for growth, and there are fees associated with financing, all right, that you have to understand, and you do have to understand it good. But if you do understand this stuff, boy, you're going to do really, really well for yourself. Now, again, guys, gals, I'm not your financial advisor. I don't want to be that role. I want to be your crypto teacher, your crypto swami, which is what my students call me. All right. They've been calling me that for now almost 4 years. All right. And that's because I've taught thousands of people how to do this, but I'm not going to give you advice. I'll only tell you what I'm doing. All right. I'll only tell you what I'm doing and also my students, because I learn a lot from my students. Okay. You've learned the 3 things that ARC teaches in order to ensure the success of building. Somebody drop in the chat a link to book a call with us. If you're already like, man, this is resonating with me, I think I could do this. All right. You can actually book a call to talk to us to see if we're aligned. But let's go through the 3 things that ARC teaches in order to ensure success and build wealth. All right. So 1, you've learned everything is headed into crypto. DeFi, stocks, gaming, commodities. Commodities are already on the blockchain. Real estate is already on the blockchain. All right. Borrowing and lending is already on the blockchain. Trading is already on the blockchain. All of it's going to DeFi, guys and gals. 2, you learned it's possible to literally make money like the wealthy and start with almost nothing. All right. Today, I showed you with $500 how I turned that $500 into $1,500 worth of investment. 3, you learned that you need to educate yourself on how to properly set yourself up in crypto and DeFi in order to succeed. And this is a biggie. Okay. The education part, I'm still educating myself, guys and gals. There's still people I go to. Even my own coaches educate me. All right. And we've got about 10 coaches that actually teach. All right. It's not just a one-man band. It's not me. We've got 10 real coaches, not VAs, not some, weird person in some weird country that, they barely speak English. No, these are people who have been trained by me and have been students, started off as students and been part of our program for no less than 2 years. All right. That's like our youngest coach has been training with me for 2 years. Now, what are your options to learn the 3X profit strategy and much more with us? Well, here's what we teach. All right. Here's what we teach. When you become a part of our community, you learn security because you're becoming your own bank. All right. You learn security. And now hang in here with me because I have the juicy part coming. All right. And we only have a few more minutes. So hang in here with me. I promise you it's going to be worth your time. You learn security. You're going to learn how to bring your money in from traditional finance into DeFi. That's a skill in and of itself. You're going to learn how to use the blockchain, how to bridge, how to go from one blockchain to another. Okay. Because that's also another skill. You're going to learn how to use strategies like the one that you just learned to earn money. You're going to learn how to what's called yield farm. You're going to learn how to create liquidity pools like I showed you earlier. You're going to learn how to mine Bitcoin. This is something that I'm also getting into right now, which is a big deal without a lot out of pocket. You're going to learn what new narrative coins for major returns. So what are the new coins that are coming out where you can do that 27,000%? And guys, gals, I'm not shitting you. Right now is the time to be buying those ones. Right now. All right. And how do I know? Because I did it. I've been through it. I've been through the ups and downs. You're going to learn how we set up our portfolios for success. You're going to learn how to tokenize real estate. You're going to learn how to get free airdrops, meaning literally free money. I've probably made about $40,000 or $50,000 over the last 4 years in free crypto just by using networks. All right. We teach this probably once every 6 weeks. We teach you the newest ones that are coming out, and we walk you step by step so you can make that extra money without any investment whatsoever. Okay. We teach you when we're taking profit and when we're buying. Okay. And we have new lessons every week. We have lessons 6 days a week, guys and gals. And we're going to teach you how to harness your mindset for maximum returns. All right. This is huge. The mindset part, we just did it earlier today at 5 p.m. EST. I forget because I'm not in EST. I'm in Central. But we teach you mindset, meditation. These are all things the top traders in the world are using. Ray Dalio is one of the top investors in the world, uses meditation. Billy meditates. In my opinion, he's one of the top entrepreneurs in the world. All right. He keeps his mind straight. I meditate every day. I do breath work every day, and I pass that on to my students. We have group learning available, one-on-one learning available. For those of you who might want that a little bit more TLC, we have that and much, much more. We are constantly adding to our program. So again, click on that link to set up a call, and let's see if we're a good fit for you and what would be the best option. We want to make sure that we're aligned. All right. And there's no pressure. If you ever get pressure from one of our people, which by the way, they're not like salespeople, they're coach level people. These people have been with me, some of them as long as the first day that you would talk to on the phone, as long as the first day that we started our business. Now, our prices vary. You don't think I can't get into this. Anybody can get into our courses. We have some that start at $480 all the way up to $15,000 or $14,997. All right. So don't think that you can't get into this. You can. I've had students that have been like, man, I'm broke, but I'm going to do this. They got in, they're making that passive income. They're making that money. Okay. So we also have payment plans as low as $400. So even if you wanted to get in with the higher plan, you can split that up in payments. All right. And best of all, we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you feel we're not a good fit, we'll give you your money back, no questions asked. And let me tell you one thing that most people will not tell you if they're selling these sorts of courses, all right? I've had to give back money because I wasn't aligned with them and they were not aligned with me, and that's okay. That's okay, all right? I'm not afraid to say that we've given people's money back. All right. Now, again, reserve your appointment because when we do this stuff with Billy, and we're actually meeting with Mike Rashid, I think late next week, these things get booked up quick. Last time we met with Billy, some people had to wait 2 weeks to talk to us. All right. It's died down a little bit to give us a little breathing room, but probably from tonight, we're going to have a lot of people. So please click on that link. Book that call. That's what I got, guys and gals. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Billy, are you there? Let's see. I think he's frozen. I think he's passed it on to me. Anyways, this is what I got, everybody. Hopefully everybody learned something. If you did, please type in the chat. Let's see. I have the chat open in front of me. I don't like to have it because it gets parabolic sometimes, especially with Billy's stuff. But it looks like everybody got to check that out. So, all right. Anyways, guys, gals, thank you so much. Again, book that call. We want to talk to you. We want to see if we're aligned. You know, by the way, look, I did learn all this stuff on YouTube. However, I will say this, all right? By learning this stuff on YouTube, it was like dropping me in the middle of the ocean and going, learn how to swim, all right? It is like drinking water from a fire hose. We consolidate all of the hot topics and put it into a methodical way so that you can get yourself set up and rocking and rolling and not have to go through the pitfalls like I did and like a lot of my students did in the early days. All right. And we've got 6 years of experience in this stuff. But if you want to go through YouTube, you can. There's no problem with that. There's no problem with that. But we want to make sure that if you do come with us, you're hitting on all cylinders. It's not taking you an additional 5 years and a lot of lost money like a lot of my students have before they come to us, or even me. All right. I've lost more money than I'd like to admit. But each one of those times that I lost money, I said, it's okay, because it's a lesson for my students. So again, let's get you rocking and rolling. If it's a bit over your head, don't worry. Don't worry, because seriously, we do have students who didn't even know how to use computers doing this stuff. That's how intense our trainings are. And we don't give up on anybody. We have workshops. We have live workshops where you can ask the teachers how to do this stuff. So it's really, really, really cool. Anyways, all right. Like I said, book that call. Let's throw that course in there. I know we have a few of our students in the chat as well, but let's put that link in there. Click that link, get that call booked, and let's get you all rocking and rolling in DeFi. Let's get you making some money. And if not, we'll be talking. Look, if you're like, listen, I want to hear more from this guy, trust me, Billy's bringing me on probably every other week now, and we got new topics coming up. We have new things. Maybe it's not this time, but let's get to know each other a little bit better. I appreciate all of you giving me the opportunity to talk to y'all tonight. There's the link. Matt Egan just threw it up. That's Billy's link. We'll get you there. But let's take it slow. If you need to go slow, if you want to get back, if you want to get on, book that call. It is time. Guys, gals, again, thank you so much for your time. Sending you all lots of love. See you on the next one. Peace out.